Islam Moors. This is I am Tyler Ambrose Ali. Today is June the 21st, 2019, and I am coming to you today from the territory known as Sparks, Nevada. Now, this following video, I just want to get into the quick disclosures real quick. At no point ever during any discussion on Standing on Your Square Productions do I ever provide legal advice. Therefore, what I am about to share with you is absolutely priceless. And it is not legal advice. However, this is firsthand knowledge from firsthand experience from Tyler Ambrose Ali. All right. Islam. All right. And then also, this video is per request. Brother I had the pleasure of touching bases with today. Brother Quentin Dalton Bay of the territory known as Georgia. Big ups to you, brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate the conversation and the knowledge. I definitely appreciate it. Again, big ups to Brother Quentin Dalton Bay from the territory known as Atlanta, Georgia. I said just the territory, but the actual domicile for that territory would be Atlanta or Metro Atlanta. So big ups to you again, Brother Quentin. All right, and let's get into it. The request was for how do I fill out the W-4 form from 2013 to now? And I just want to go on and say that before I even knew that I was a Moor and had fact found whatever it took for me to understand what it is, who I am, what I am, and then also from childhood memories and touching bases with my aunts and my family that are all born in the 50s, the late 40s, early 50s, and cross-referencing their sharings with completely different venues to verify, just to see if they had any merit, and it checked out, and then some. So I am who I am. All right, well, let's just get into it then. All right, so the request was for the W-4 form. What do I do? Specific steps. All right, first thing, guys, let me see if I turn this down a little bit because this might be up a little bit too loud. All right, so first thing, guys, I want to advise you that, yes, I do not contract with the Internal Revenue Service. That's right. I do not contract with the Internal Revenue Service. So what am I saying, Morris? What I'm saying is there is no federal taken out of my paychecks. That's right. I did say that in 2019 on June the 21st, 2019. You heard it first here. I do not contract with the Internal Revenue Service. Not contracting with the Internal Revenue Service, what that means is I do not contract with the Internal Revenue Service. I'm not going to get into who has jurisdiction and who don't have jurisdiction. The point is the presentment, our piece of paper called a W-4, is the contract from the Internal Revenue Service. Okay? And basically, you want to make sure that you make it very clear within that presentment and on that document that you don't wish to contract with Internal Revenue. So basically what I'm saying to you is this has nothing to do with the specific employer, what their human resources says, and what they will and won't do, and what they have to do, and what they're going to tell you they have to do everything, including handle you badly. But the bottom line is check the shit out for yourself. All right? We'll see if we have some facts here, which I'm sure we do, because I provide these two employers, again, from 2013 to present. Now, I want to say that when I began not contracting with Internal Revenue, majority of these documents that I provide to the employer, I did not have. I simply used to write on the document, I do not wish to contract with the Internal Revenue Service at this time, the Buck Act of 1940. And I would give it back, okay, with no social, and we'll get into that a little bit later in the video. But first things first, they give you an onboard package, and I have a W-4 included in that onboard package. And so I make it a point to include my own package. Basically, I'm affidaviting their presentment, their W-4. I'm affidaviting it, meaning I'm responding to their presentment. And when you respond to the presentment, rather if you guys knew this and didn't know it until now, when someone presents a document, a letter anything to you and you dispute it, send an affidavit. Okay? The affidavit unrebutted stands as called on the field. Simple as that. All right, but I want to read you what exactly I send or what I provide to the Human Resources Department. All right? Okay, now this light is blinding the shit out of me. I'm not going to even lie to you guys. All right, let's see. Woo, yeah, I am blinded. That's crazy. All right, let's see. I can make this bigger. There we go. All right, let's just do that. Okay, so this again is the following is 6 pages what I provide the human resources for a job when they say, yes, you're hired, which I don't mention anything about my nationality during the interview, except for today. But I'll get into that in another video. But it's completely departmentalized, meaning we go in, we talk about the duties of the job, I take notes, I recite it back to them. Cool. When they say, okay, yes, we would like to bring you aboard. Now comes the paperwork and that W-4. This is what I give them, stapled together. Each page is with the W-4 included as well. Actually, it's not stapled, it's more like paperclip, but whatever. And I'm going to point to you real quick what I'm reading from. And I want to say that at any point at any time, if I ever mention specific documents or a specific process or option, you can always leave your comment in the comment bar or the comment area. You can even leave your email if you choose to. You don't have to. It's totally up to you. I'll shoot you my email. How about that? TylerAmbroseAli@gmail.com if you want to get these documents forwarded to you so you can look at them in black and white. All right, so the first thing it says is, in the IRS operating manual under the section that pertains to estates and trusts, the IRS defines an infant as a descendant, means dead. When one gets a job, they fill out an IRS tax reporting called Form W-4. You write in your legal name, which legal name is being identified as the taxpayer. The IRS code manual identifies the W-4 form as being a Class 5 tax form. The same IRS code manual identifies a Class 5 tax as only being a gift and a state tax. That part was highlighted or was in bold letters. The IRS identifies the 1040 tax forms as a Class 2 tax. Let me try that again. The IRS identifies the 1040 tax form as a Class 2 tax, and they identify a Class 2 tax as being income tax. I just screwed it up. I'm just going to throw it to you guys. I'll clean it up and present you a cleaner video, but I want to get this out there. Okay, so the W-4, the W-2, and all 1099 forms, the 1098 form, in addition to other tax forms, are all identified solely as being a Class 5 tax form, which Class 5 tax is identified solely as gift and estate tax. So my first question to you guys would be, are you a gift or an estate when you go to apply for a job and they say you're hired, come on in? Are you a gift? Are you a corporation? Are you a business? Because if you're not, then this doesn't apply to you. And that's exactly what I went in with. And they haven't came back and said, no, you can't. They'll try to talk me out of it, like I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But it's like, dude, come on now. Who needs a job real bad, gets the job, and then when they go to do the background or the onboard, okay, I'm babbling now, y'all. I don't want to babble. Let me just add just 2 more things, y'all. All right, so let's continue on. Okay, so I can see so much clearer now, y'all. Wow. All right. Okay, so next it reads, the IRS notice of federal tax lien form has a column that says kind of tax. Note, this specifically says kind of tax, not what kind of tax form, but actually kind of tax they have a lien for. The actual kind of tax they have listed in that column says 1040 as being the specific kind of tax that is owed to the taxpayer, which is the legal name they have named on that form. I highlighted this. The 1040 kind of tax pertains to Title 26, Section 1040. Title 26, Section 1040 solely pertains only to trusts and estates and nothing else. Guys, I want to read that again, okay? Because I highlighted it. This is also, again, given to the employer, all right, during onboard. The 1040 kind of tax pertains to Title 26, Section 1040. Title 26, Section 1040. Solely pertains only to trusts and estates and nothing else. So that's the IRS manual. They're telling you to refer to Title 26, Section 1040 to verify this for yourself. So now, my audience, even though I'm confident in using this material, I'm advising you to do the same. Go look it up. Definitely. So that way you'll be able to stand on your square that even though you need this job and there's a room full of people and this person is screaming at you because, we'll use an example, they worked there for X amount of years and they would have heard of this. Stand on your square, more. Stand on your square. This applies. And that office where you got hired at is not the Internal Revenue Service. And even if they try to get slick and say, well, my boss is not going to process it. If your boss gets over theirself and process it and forward it to the correct office, which in this instance would be the Internal Revenue Service, they know what to do. They know what their shit is. They're not going to tell you, hey guys, use our manual so you can save money. They're not going to never do that. So that's why I'm bringing this to you live. Also, I want to throw in, you get this video, listen to it on your desktop or your laptop and download it immediately. The reason why I'm saying this is everything that I presented that's just been the actual steps like this, it's been deleted within 15 or 20 minutes. So I'm saying it again. If it stays up, cool. But I would just say, just plan for it to be not available for too long. All right? All right, so next, the state creates an infant, which IRS defines as being a descendant, under a section pertaining to estates, where the state registers the infant descendant estate, in all caps lock, as a registered organization of the state, where the infant descendant estate then becomes an agency of the state by the state, having registered that estate as a state organization pursuant to Article 9 of the UCC. Now, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I was just trying to read it word for word off the script, okay? And I might have confused you and lost a lot of you. That's okay. That's why hit me at tylerambroseali@gmail.com and request for this to be forwarded to you. I will gladly forward it to you. Why wouldn't I? I want you to have this so you could use this so you could receive your entire paycheck when you work. That's all it is to it. I'm not trying to game nobody or make somebody believe some made up shit. I'm telling you what I have been doing for the last 6+ years. And I'm going to continue to do it because I have the right to decline or accept a presentment presented to me. And let me tell it, last I checked, if I go and apply with the Atlanta Journal-Constitution and they hire me, guess what? I didn't go and apply with the Internal Revenue Service. I don't care what they taught you back in whatever you came up, whenever you came up, they taught you or showed it on the TV, the campaigns. I don't care about that. You didn't sign up to work with the Internal Revenue Service. You get a hold of this and you read and you research for yourself, you'll understand why the person in Human Resources has no jurisdiction to tell you. Now they're giving legal advice, which is fraud. They're not supposed to give you legal advice at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Again, this is an example. Please don't. I'm not trying to step on toes. Trying to get an example to you guys to help you guys get going here. All right? But basically, when you went and applied at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution and you were hired, you didn't ask for legal advice. So why is the secretary or representative trying to tell you what you need to surrender to the Internal Revenue Service? Also, be aware, they're going to tell you we have to pay taxes for you. They're telling you basically you're a piece of property. Why you got to pay taxes for a person? You probably have to pay taxes for property, but they're not wording it like that. People read between the lines. That's all I'm saying. Let me keep going before I babble on too much. The registered infant descendant, which is an estate, is registered with the state as an organization such as an estate. Okay, so it's kind of repeating itself, and I don't want to repeat myself to you guys. All right, but suffice it to say, the federal income tax is for businesses and corporations, and it does not apply to you because you're not a business or a corporation. You've waken up. If you're looking at this video and you're trying to figure out, okay, well, what the hell have I been doing wrong? You've been listing yourself as a nom de guerre or a ward under the Christian Black Codes of 1724. Look that up. Look that up. It's important. PDF. Now you're not, and you're advising them of such, up to and including your indentured agreements or your W-4 that's making me voluntarily give you money when I'm not even a business or a corporation. Now, let's look at defenses and protections. First of all, how can the IRS have the grounds to send an agent to your house and tell you, hey, you broke laws? How is that? You presented a presentment to me saying, hey, would you like to? I said no, and I wrote it and gave it back. Now, why are you here? Or if they try to be slick and send you a letter, this is frivolous. How is it frivolous to decline an offer? How is it frivolous to decline an offer? That's all I'm saying, guys. I'm just trying to help wake you guys up. If you, I want to dip my foot in the water and jump right in and live free and be free and receive my full worth. I'm just trying to point you guys in that direction. That's all I'm trying to do. All right, guys. Islam. And should this tape make it to you, to Metro Atlanta, just know Norcross, Georgia in the building here, all right? Back in the day, what is that road name? Shit, that's been forever and a day. But back in the day, Norcross High School was called Norcross High School. I don't know what it's called now. When I was last there in Atlanta in 2006, the name had changed. Is that Jimmy Carter Boulevard? It is Jimmy Carter Boulevard. Jimmy Carter Boulevard, and don't get me the lying. But Norcross, Georgia in the building, okay? And Gwinnett County. Basically, I'm from Metro Atlanta, y'all. And now I'm domiciled within the territory known as Sparks, Nevada. But I ain't forget where I came from. Not even hardly. Not even close. All right, so then this next document number 2, is from the Commissioner of the Social Security Administration, Baltimore, Maryland. It's dated July the 16th, 1986. Just because something is incredibly old, guys, doesn't mean it don't apply to you now, okay? Just always bear that in mind. Most of the shit that applies to you that you'll benefit from is very old, incredibly old. That's why it's so important to have your historical facts down. I'm not going to read this whole letter, guys, because this may be 2 pages, a page or 2. However, the most important part of the letter that you do need to understand and keep in mind at all points in time whenever you're doing business with a corporation is, this is per the Social Security Administration. We do not have the authority to require an employer to provide or deny employment or services to anyone who refuses to disclose his or her number. This is a matter between the individual and the employer. Now, having said that, where's the harm? You don't want to be listed under a number. Use that. I don't want to be listed as under a number. Hell, the correct shit, if you're in your proper person and you're following the Zodiac, which is a complete science, not fraud, the social number doesn't apply to you. You was born from an Asiatic Stargate. That means that a number that was issued to you cohesively, fraudulently on the under, through threat, duress, or coercion, basically right after mommy pushed you out. She struggled and went through all of that. We love you, Mom. Definitely. We love you, Mom. Absolutely. But the point is, shortly thereafter, they said, hey, sign these forms, sign these documents, and that's how it occurred. They're not going to say, hey, this is for the Social Security card, this is for the birth certificate, this is for this is for that. And most of the time, you're out of it anyway. You just want to get the shit over with. But that's how this occurred. And now what you will be doing at this point is undoing it. And then once you undo it, you share it. That's how it works. Let's go to the next page, guys. We're almost done. We're on page 3 of 6. When I looked further into Title 26, it advised me at that point in time to please include an additional statement or document if whatever presentment that comes from Internal Revenue to you, if it does not apply to you or extend to you, please include in writing, like anything else, once you read the policies and procedures. If it doesn't apply to you, please include an affidavit or a statement indicating why. I have done exactly that. It says, and I did not at this time know to list it as affidavit. However, again, before I knew I was a Moor and that I'm a descendant of the Chickasaw tribe, I still wished to be free, and I still operated as such. My document says statement in addition to W-4 documents. So Moors, you know to change that and just put affidavit. You don't even have to say in addition to W-4 documents. You can overkill them, no worries. Or you could just put affidavit. Okay. My letter is addressed to the Internal Revenue Service headquarters. The certified mail number, I left that blank because I did not write it. However, it is addressed to 1111 Constitution Avenue Northwest, Washington, District of Columbia, 20224. That is the address where this following statement needs to go. At the time, I wasn't aware the notary is not needed. The 2 witnesses and their proper person is sufficient, rather than paying $5 and then $2.50 per notary, each additional notary after that. But my statement is very short, very to the sweet. It's a paragraph. I'll read it. To all that this concerns within the Internal Revenue Service, I, Dennis James, am not liable for any estate or gift tax. I, Dennis James, do not wish to give any voluntary tax, and in parentheses, gift. Please be advised, unless otherwise provided by Dennis James in writing, that I do not wish to contract with the Internal Revenue Service at this time. Please keep this copy for record within the Internal Revenue Service and all Internal Revenue Service offices and places of operations. Please advise all Internal Revenue Service offices, places of operations, and any other third parties not mentioned within this statement of the facts and the processes provided within this statement. Please and thank you for your time and attention with this matter. Really quick, Dennis James is my Nam de Geer birth name. What I was born as James Aloysius Dennis Jr. And the reason why on this statement it's written last name, comma, first name is because we were playing I Want to Be Free, and I was trying to separate debtor from creditor. Debtor is in all caps lock. We know this now. Back then, didn't have the full understanding or a better understanding. I just wanted to show myself as a creditor and free and clear. That was what the point of that was. All right. Look into that as well, debtor and creditor. It won't really make a bit of a damn difference when you're trying to do the onboard process and shut them up and give them what they want. But, just for peace of mind, it wouldn't hurt. Really quick, guys, I wrote an additional notice because I like to overkill them. This one here indicates Internal Revenue Service Attention Headquarters, 1111 Constitution Avenue Northwest, Washington, District of Columbia, 20224, Federal Triangle, United States. This is dated December the 14th, 2018. So that's telling you right there that from 2013 to now, I've been doing this. And periodically, I get a wild hair up my ass. But again, before I knew I was a Moor, okay, again, before I knew I was a descendant of the Chickasaw tribe, I wanted to be free. I knew something was just not right. Okay, the point is that I noticed their office. This one here, guys, I'll give you that. This is about 2 or 3 paragraphs. I'm just going to get right into it and read it. Again, this goes to the employer every time when they demand that number and say what I can't do. This is what I give them. To all officials within the actually, before I get into it, this went to the Internal Revenue Service and they have not responded. So the employer having it now, it's double public record. All right. To all officials within the Internal Revenue Service, notice the agent is notice the principal. I led off with that to let them know if you got this, what you did, because I do everything certified mail, you got it. So I don't want to hear shit. Don't send nobody to my house telling me what I didn't do. And when an employer tells me what I can't do, I'm going to stand on my square because I sent it to the head and the head didn't say or do shit. So any affidavit, statement, and even though I didn't write affidavit, It's notarized, guys. Look at that. So just, to let my frustrated side come out, fuck what they talking about, fuck they couch, straight up. All right, so let's get into it. To all officials, and this is in addition to the first about the gift tax. This is in addition to that. So I'm covering all the bases so they can't come back with shit. Basically, that's the point, right? Nip it in the bud. To all officials within the Internal Revenue Service, notice the agent is notice the principal. I, Dennis James, do not wish to contract with the Internal Revenue Service at this time. The Baby Act, the Buck Act of 1940. As it has come to the attention of the infant now of age majority, the 9-digit number provided by the Social Security Administration, the number states, and I listed the number, was not initiated by the infant. Therefore, an infant born on 7th of February during the year of 1978 cannot contract with the Social Security Administration. As of February the 7th during the year 1996, the infant has not requested for a new Social Security number to be issued. The Office of the Social Security Administration are operating under the presumption that the infant, when born, applied for and received a number. I, Dennis James, do not wish to contract with the Internal Revenue Service at this time. Wow, I said it again. Please keep this document on file for the records of the Internal Revenue Service office located at 1111 Constitution Avenue Northwest in Washington, D.C. In Washington, District of Columbia. It does say District of Columbia, guys. Let's see. In Washington, District of Columbia, 20224. If for any reason the right to not contract with this office is unlawful, please provide any lawful handwritten or hand-typed documents, please, within 20 days from the date of receipt of this statement dated 14th of December during the year 2018. Should there be a lawful response, please forward by registered mail to Dennis James, and I listed the address. Okay? And the city is Sparks. The state is recognized as Nevada with the zip code you can list 00000. That's what I put. Thank you for your time with this matter. Sincerely, the live, natural, free, born, and infant, now of age of majority. And look at this real quick, guys. This is what I put. I put this shit on here. Let's see where. Yep. See, there's the zip code. You could list 000. I hadn't even known at the time. Now I call it rule-free delivery. Thank you, Beacon of Light from Sparks, Nevada, my brother. We haven't caught up in a minute, but thank you. I give big ups to everybody on my platform. Absolutely. I don't take nothing for granted, and I appreciate everything that's been presented to me, incumbent on me, or divulged to me, or brought my way. I appreciate it all. I welcome it all, even if it's some bullshit. And if it's some bullshit, I'll just tell you, hey man, that's some bullshit. You can keep that. Because all we need is the exact answer. But guys, that's pretty much it. That's it. All right. And then beyond that, I have a medical record under the nom de guerre. This says James A. Dennis. Again, this was from back in... Is there a year on here? No, I don't see a year. But the point being is that from all they bullshit, I guess I have post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. I have anxiety disorder. Well, shit, if you're squatting on somebody's land and you're trying to go out of your way to make them think they're crazy, shit, I think I would be a little messed up after a while, too. I'm not making excuses, guys. I'm just saying. Now we're down to the sixth and final page, which is the actual Form W-4 2019. All right, and I'm going to walk you guys through the exact steps. I want you to look at what I have first. Go ahead and look at it. Before my appellation came into play, that is how I would complete the W-4, with the first name and middle initial. So now with my appellation, the first name and middle initial, I write Tyler Ambrose, last name Ali. Your social security number in box 2, I write religious objection / Baby Act. The reason is my religious objection, I followed the Zodiac religiously. So my religious instruction does not allow me to use a number that's not associated with me. And then as a baby, the Baby Act, you can't sign for a contract. Not then, not now. All right. So how can you use something that's associated with that? Thus, if you're understanding who you are, you understand that that name doesn't apply to you. That name is listed as property. Okay. And box number 2, the social. Okay. And then it asks for the home address, which I list the home address. And then I put if it's an apartment number or a condo or whatever associated with it, I put the number in brackets. So even if they thought they had jurisdiction, when you look at the shit all the way, the actual domicile is in brackets. Next, underneath that, it asks for the state and zip. I put Nevada State Republic. So if this applies in the state of Georgia, Metro Atlanta, that would be the Georgia State Republic. Every state by law has to have a form of republic. Don't let them people scare you, y'all. You guys have the grounds to do this. No questions asked. Well, actually, there will be questions asked because it's always going to be, I don't even want to sound like I'm ignorant and don't